I'm just not sure if moving forward right now would be the best idea. Necessarily went wrong, but it didn't go right enough. But with this being potentially my future wife, I want it to be someone I'm head over heels like I am about you guys.
I mean, listen, Danielle makes a fair point. You know, if you're going to bring someone in, it needs to be someone that you feel head over heels over. And to be fair, the point wasn't made there by Nick later on in the episode that, well, when he came to him meet in April, everything just felt natural. When it came to Jennifer, everything felt natural. And when it came to Danielle, everything felt natural. No one had to force a relationship or had to force anything to work. So, you know, it makes sense. What she says has a whole level of truth behind it that cannot be denied. So I get it. But let's continue.
If I'm being honest, I guess I am a little disappointed to hear that. I was kind of hoping we would move forward with Jasmine.
Of course you was disappointed. Of course you was, because of course for you personally, it's an extra woman in the picture, an extra woman for you to be able to do what you want with. So of course he's disappointed that he couldn't get Jasmine in the picture. But of course, that itself alone is still quite subjective. Now, for the people who may be new to the channel and have missed the information that I uploaded on this channel before, well, we do know that Jasmine was already part of the Davis family pretty much prior to the existence of this season. So her obviously coming this season was actually something that we first found out wasn't necessarily authentic, that she was already a part of them and quite friendly with, and Danielle actually has no issues with Jasmine, if anything. I mean, that part isn't exactly confirmed, but based on the information that I provided before in another video regarding Jasmine's involvement in their family before the show, well, pretty much that information does still back up the fact that Danielle technically had no issues with Jasmine, nor did any of the other wives anyway, because in this episode, April decides to put up a vote of saying, okay, I'll vote for, you know, Jasmine to not be here. Then Jennifer votes, Danielle votes, Nick votes, blah, blah, blah. They all come to a freaking agreement. But hey, of course, Nick is upset. Why would he be happy that he just lost a chance on another potential wife?
You know, this is one of those instances, I guess, where even I have to accept the structure that we've created, you know?
Yes, you have to accept the structure, but it's not about you accepting the structure, isn't it? Though it's more about you not losing the structure that you have right now. So you're not going to gamble fight, are you? You're definitely going to side with the 3 women that you have rather than 1 woman that you don't have. Otherwise, it's a losing game for you, isn't it now, buddy? It's all about numbers. But as you can see here, considering this is the last episode, this is the information that was then left regarding Jenny, April, Danielle, and Nick are now dating a special new woman. I'm sure she's special. Danielle is happy she decided to stay at Davis, but is cautiously optimistic that the new woman could one day be her wife. I mean, listen, if she's always going to be cautiously optimistic or whatever you want to call it, then why the hell is she still hanging around? It's like she's waiting for someone to come in so then she can leave. Potentially. But nonetheless, though, that is like what went down with this family this week. Now let's get into the next one as well.
I just want a man all to myself.
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just for me.
I mean, you are credit for being honest, right? For being honest that she wants a man to herself. But at the same time, she's delusional for trying to date a man that's already taken.
Relationship with Yari and compared to my relationship with Stephanie, it's not really a comparison. Like, we were super close. Like, we can figure out if Yari is a good addition. We don't really know for sure.
Somebody please explain to me, what are you trying to figure out? What? You were trying to figure out whether Yari was a good addition or not. She wants to steal your man away from you. There's nothing to figure out.
I see Yari as a good potential because, you know, obviously she's beautiful.
Yes, you see her as a good potential because you're thinking with your wee-wee. That's that. If she was a good potential, your first reference wouldn't be how she looks. It'd be more about how you feel about her mental connection. And then also on top of that,
it's amazing, so nice and warm still. And we're about to go get in the water all the way down.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I was surprised to see Yari is still actually here. Because obviously this is now pretty much the end of the episode where they're giving us the updates. And this actually blew my freaking mind. Ah, yes. The Ryans are still dating Yara despite her lack of commitment, which is no surprise. Why would that be a surprise to the slightest? She's happy to have to have Becky tag along. Isn't that hilarious? So you're telling me Yara is happy for Justin's wife, yes, wife, the mother of his children, to tag along? Let's just make that make sense. It should be the other way around. You know, Yara, you're the one that's tagging along. Yara actually is treating this as if like she's the main woman. You're nuts. You're absolutely bonkers. And then goes, some of the time. So I guess Yari dictates when Becky's allowed to be there and when Becky's not allowed to be there. What kind of madness is this? The level of delusion with these three is actually quite nuts. I hope all of this is just for show, because if this is how it is in reality, then goddamn. I hope they can all find strength some way, somehow, because this level of stupidity is just unnecessary. But nonetheless, though, let's get into the final couple of this week's episode.
Chose to put the hijab on, the scarf.
Hijab?
Yeah. How would you feel about it?
I say, where's my beautiful wife at?
Really?
Let me try to pull it off.
This is the first time I've seen this man speechless. He didn't know what to say. He had no idea what to say. He was like, I don't know. And then he said something stupid like, oh, let me take it off. What? You know, when somebody isn't educated on a certain religion because he's too busy thinking about what he wants in life.
For me to see what it's about so I can meet people where they're at, you know, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That is the most honest thing he has said all freaking season. If anything, probably the only honest thing he said this whole season. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what's going on here. You know, and to be honest with you, he does go on to actually hold in a minute.
She's kind of standoffish. Not sure what that is. It's a cultural thing.
Before we even get into the whole situation with NATHALIA over here, bro, the reason why the whole situation was uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff was because you wasn't in an element where you was in control. He's used to always being the one that can dictate and control everything. So obviously he needs his women to be submissive. He needs them to follow his lead. He needs them to pretty much bow down to him. Miriam wasn't giving him that energy. She was like, yay, whoa, we got to build a connection first. We got to build something first before we can even da-da-da-da-da. But he's trying to be all hands in, hands on, da-da-da-da-da. She's like, whoa, nah. We need to have conversations first. I'm Muslim, so tell me, would you be okay with this? Would you be okay with that? Da-da-da-da. My man did not know what to say, did not know what to do, because it's obviously been a long time, or maybe the first time he's ever encountered a woman that isn't going to be submissive to him just like that. A woman that he's actually going to have to, you know, get to know properly. But let's get into the whole NATHALIA situation itself in particular. So I'm going to read exactly what she says, you know what I mean, okay? Because I fit in the whole thing, but I can't play the whole thing for copyright. Anyway, so with NATHALIA here in her little video that she sends to the producers, I believe, she says it's been a while since Garrick and Danny moved back to the US, and since then many things have changed. I discovered new lies. The main one is that Garrick keep getting to invite a woman to spend a few days at his house, which I'm assuming would be Miriam herself in particular. Continues by saying, since the beginning of my relationship with Garrick, I showed my dissatisfaction with him adding a new person, which is something they did speak about, isn't it? To be fair. So, you know, what she's saying here is definitely factual stuff here. Then continues by saying, without me living with the rest of the family, which is fair. She wants to be there. She wants also to be she also wants to know if she can engage with what women they want to bring in, which makes a lot of sense. It would be weird for them to bring a new woman. She hasn't met her. She hasn't built a relationship with her. And then she meets her and then she's like, wait, hold on a minute. You and I don't even get along. So to be fair, it makes a lot of sense for NATHALIA, for them to have at least waited for NATHALIA to come, live with them first, and then they could have courted a new woman altogether, which makes so much more sense. But hey, Garrick does things the way Garrick wants to do things, and what I mean is Garrick does things that pleases him, and that's that. Now, she continues here by saying, and he talked to me and said I could trust him, and he would. We're going to the next one, and he would wait for me to arrive. So clearly, obviously, that's a lie that she was told, because she was expecting, you know, for him to obviously follow through to what he said, but obviously he didn't. Continues by saying, in addition, Garrick began demand total submission to him. And we all know when it came to NATHALIA being submissive, that's not something that was ever going to come easily, or maybe not even at all, to be honest, because she definitely is an outspoken person, rightly so. Do you see what I'm saying? Because she knew, well, she didn't know, but I think when you're dealing with someone like Garrick, you need to be someone who has a voice of your own, otherwise you're going to walk all over you. Hashtag Danielle. Anyway, in addition, Garrick began to demand total submission to him, a fact that I do not agree with. And that is fair enough. Respectfully, you understand your own boundaries. And for those reasons, there is no longer a relationship between the two of us. It's funny to the two of us, when really and truly it's meant to be the three of us, because remember, Danielle was still a part of the picture. But anyway, we continue. I have decided that I no longer want to continue this relationship and respectfully for, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, as you can see, the next day, NATHALIA officially broke up with Garrick and Danielle. Now, Garrick tried to come in and say a whole bunch of hoo-ha, you know, talking about God this, God that, you know, obviously if you wanted her for me, then she'd still be here, but clearly this is God getting rid of her, blah, 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 you know. But I wasn't gonna, there was no need for me to add all that nonsense because, let's be real, it's the same old things with this guy, literally copy and paste. Now, sadly, somehow they have found another freaking woman. Now, as you can see, it does say here that Danielle and Garrick are no longer dating Miriam, which makes absolute sense. Because of course she was way too intimidating for Garrick because there was no way he was ever going to be able to do what to control her. They met a new woman, Loriana, I hope I said her name right, upon their first meeting. Garrick baptized her and proposed. I didn't realize that he could baptize people now. He baptized her and proposed on their first meeting. Oh, look at that. There's no surprise of the proposal, right? They are currently trying to bring her to the US on a K1 visa and guess what? From Brazil. And yet these two deny on their live streams that they are not purposely seeking someone from Brazil. Brazil is clearly a place that they target. They target purposely, if you dig what I'm saying. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on the final episode of the season. You know what I mean? How do you think it went? I mean, for me personally, it's been a level of calamity. Now, I will say this, though. They did add more information regarding Shane and... what's my girl's name again? Hey, Shane and Ashley, to be fair. I found that their one was quite interesting. Regarding Shane and Ashley, it came up saying that they are no longer in contact with Sarah anymore, but they are still out there looking. But since they are still out there looking, they have come across people who have either stood them up or they have been catfished. But yet they still continue to be optimistic to find a person for Ashley. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, in this life, I always say if you want something in life, don't give up. Just keep going regardless how many times you push back. And you know what? With that being said, I'm never going to be a hypocrite and sit and say that they're being delusional and that they should just, you know, just learn to just love each other and just feel like they're enough for each other rather than try and find a third person to come into their lives. And clearly the path right now is telling them that bringing someone into your life is not allowed. But hey, like I said before, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and tell them that they're doing wrong. Keep doing what you got to do, okay? Consistent, we get what you want in the end. Woo-wee! But with that being said, though, let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in the comment section, and we can most certainly talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.